and see 100 to 250 people living in tents. I didn't grow up with that. I had to come out here and have this experience and learn, and the whole happy period journey I just shared with you, to realize that it's only getting worse. And in metropolitan areas where gentrification is an issue, and I'm a guilty party, I'm a person of privilege that moved here and probably took a space away from somebody, took up physical space where somebody may have lived long before I did, generations probably before I did. So this is one small way that I can be aware of that issue and help to course correct it to whatever degree I can. But I say all of that to say that whatever community you come from, whether it's Orlando, where I'm from, a metropolitan area like Oakland or San Francisco, or if you're in the middle of Utah, and trust and believe, we have a chapter in Connecticut. In Connecticut, people, where there is privilege, there is poverty. This is needed wherever you are. So if you're interested in getting involved, Google menstrual hygiene access, menstrual equity in your hometown. There may be people that are already doing something. Again, if not, please start your own nonprofit, start your own whatever out of your backyard. It doesn't matter. Women need you to be of service, and menstruators need you to be of service. That's the other thing I wanted to touch on before I show you what a kit looks like. We cannot forget that there are trans men who bleed, and if you are already marginalized in the real world, in positions of privilege, that is only exponentially the case if you're on the streets. So if you are transitioning, you are probably still experiencing your menses. You may be male passing and still be bleeding. So when we do distribution, we approach anyone who is female passing, even though they may be biologically still male, because you don't know what having a pad in your hand or a tampon in your hand, or just having somebody offer that to you, can do for your psyche and your spirit. So we simply ask, and we let people tell us yes, no, or otherwise. Same thing with menopausal women. We've approached women that are of a certain age, and we've said, hey, may we offer? And they're like, listen, I don't need that shit, I don't bleed anymore. Some take offense, and some are just like, hey, I don't need that, but maybe I could use the baby wipes. We've approached trans women who are like, I can't use the pads or the tampons, but I can use the baby wipes, or I'd like the kit, I can use the clean panties. But also remember that there are trans men that are still bleeding, that are, especially if they're on the streets, are likely not getting regular access to hormones, if at all. So they're likely still going through their menses, even though they're male passing. So just do a blanket, may we offer, when you're out. The men will kind of approach you and be like, what do you got, what do you got, what do you got? And you have to be like, hey, we're out here for the ladies, or we're out here for the menstruators. So you just have to use your better judgment. And in the 4.5 years I've been doing this, and in the years that I've acted as a community manager and honorary board member for this organization, I've never had anyone come to me, even middle schoolers that are involved in doing this, high schoolers that are involved in doing this. Never have we had a moment where there has been danger or any type of emergency situation. Folks are accustomed, especially in metropolitan areas, to getting donations when they're on the street. People are very, very, very amenable to receiving any help that you can give them. And if they're not, they're usually head down and silent, almost never aggressive. And I will say I have never been in a situation where I felt unsafe whilst distributing. In Oakland, in San Francisco, in Berkeley, anywhere, under random overpasses at night, no one has ever made me or my team to feel unsafe. But just, yeah, remember that there are trans men out there that are bleeding, so menstruator can look like a million different things. So just keep that in mind. Reach out to your shelters, find out what they need, what they don't need, and make that, be what you ask for. If you have a period packing party, if you know that your community is stocked up on pads, have people bring tampons. Figure out where the need is, fill that need. When it comes to reusables like cups, washable cloth pads, things of that nature, of course, for people like us who have access to plumbing and indoor bathrooms on a regular basis, those are ideal, right? And if you can get those things, I would say make sure those go to shelters. If you're on the street, it's likely that you do not have regular access to a bathroom. So in order to keep a cup or something like Flex hygienic and clean, you need to be able to dispose of your Menzies, rinse, ideally microwave, or really sterilize it in hot water on a regular basis, and that's just not the case. So the best case scenario is, at this point, disposable items. If you can get organic disposable items like the brand Cora, by all means ask for those higher end quality things. But if you are going to get reusable items, I would reserve those for your shelters. And also just keep in mind, even for those of us that are in positions of privilege, there's an amount of education that goes along with using reusables. How to insert a cup, how to remove a cup, how to insert a Flex, how to remove a Flex, how to keep these things clean. So that's a good opportunity for you to work with your shelters. But as far as distributing on the street, they may not be ideal. So just keep that in mind. So with that being said, I'll show you what a perfect kit looks like. Now, obviously, when you host a period packing party, if you're starting with inviting your friends, your family, your coworkers, the community, you're going to get what you get, and then you're going to break down that inventory. And the most fun and the most gratifying experience is to have people at the party actually break it down and assemble it into kits themselves. It's one thing to just come somewhere, go somewhere, and make a donation, right? Here's $10, or here's a pack of maxi pads. It's a completely different experience to get your hands dirty and actually break the stuff down, especially for men. Break the stuff down, put your hands on it, and put it into a kit, and really look and see at what you're doing and feel it in your hands. And even as a woman, to see just how much is necessary to survive a 5 to 7 day Menzies, what you go through inventory wise. So invite your friends and your family, your coworkers, the community, your churches, whomever, to get involved. Now, normally we put things in Ziploc bags, because a Ziploc bag can be reused by a person, whether they need to carry their waste around or whatever they choose to. But this just happens to be a box that was made at a corporate event, but I'm going to show you the contents of what's inside. This is ideally what you would want to have in any kit that you are giving to a shelter or the street. So again, this is picture perfect. This is not what it's going to look like. You're going to get one of these things of baby wipes, and you're going to have to take gloves and take 5 of them out at a time. Yes, Sindel, I know. She's very, 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 very pro menstrual equity. You're going to have to get a pair of gloves, and you're going to have to take out 5 to 10 baby wipes and put them into individual little baby Ziplocs. It's a very tedious situation in reality if you're not getting high levels of donations, and you tend not to when you're first getting started. But ideally, you're going to have a variety of different pads and panty liners of different sizes. Your light days, your plus days, your super duper duper extra shining elevator days. Underwear is the most asked for and least donated item that we get here in the Bay Area, and I think that would probably hold true for most because it's an expensive item to purchase. You can go to the dollar store and get a crap ton of pads or tampons. Underwear is more expensive, but if we can put a clean pair of underwear in each kit, that's a win. Hotel travel size soaps, dental hygiene, we'll take it, we'll get it, we'll put it in there. This kit, the tampons haven't been put in yet, but you would obviously try and put in a variety of different pads or liner sizes and a couple of different sizes of tampons, again depending upon what you get. More than likely you're not going to have an entire thing of baby wipes to put in one. Like I said, you're going to get a bunch of these and then you'll have to parse out a handful and put them into Ziploc bags, and then this is just a box of liners. But the idea is to provide a variety. Now this is ideal. This plus the tampons that I couldn't fit in here would be like a miracle for somebody to receive. The reality is you work with what you get, and that's more than enough. It's not more than enough, but it's a start, and it's better than nothing is what I mean to say. So I encourage you, if you have questions, please comment below. Please DM me. At the very least, Google #happyperiod.org. Go to the Bay Area's page, which can be found on Facebook. We are #HappyPeriodBayArea. We're also on Instagram @We Are Happy Period Bay Area. Of course, the main organization has a Facebook and an Instagram as well, but if this particular way of doing things doesn't speak to you, figure out your own way and do it, or find an organization in your community that's doing it that does speak to you. But don't wait for permission. Time's a wasting, and I can tell you, having watched that little encampment grow from like 2 tents to over 50 with 250 plus people living there in the past year, this is a microcosm of what's happening across the country. Of course, it's going to be on a different scale here in a metropolitan area like the Bay Area, but the economy is the economy, and there are more of us than I think any of us would care to admit that are one paycheck away from being in that same situation, and that's what that is. It's 90% newly homeless. It's people that are educated, it's people that are willing, it's people that are not, addicted to drugs, they're not mentally ill, they had a job loss or a catastrophic life event and didn't have the safety net of last month's security deposit, whatever. We could all be in that same situation. So I encourage you to read up about this issue, being homeless and being somebody who has their menses. Get involved, ask questions, and just be of service, because there are women and menstruators who really, really need your support no matter where you are. So again, if you have questions, not to be redundant, please comment, please DM me. I'm happy to expand upon this in another video, but I just wanted to make sure I filmed it in proper lighting. And again, if you are on Facebook, give us a like, give us a follow so you can stay informed, especially if you're in the Bay Area. Same on Instagram. If you're not in the Bay Area and you're watching this, please do the same for your community. Chances are, if you live in a metropolitan area, there is a chapter of Happy Period that you can follow on Instagram and Facebook, and that's going to be your best source for getting involved and finding out what upcoming events are available. But again, at the risk of sounding really redundant, just do your own damn thing. Invite your friends, your family, your church, your school, your colleagues, whatever, to bring these items, have some cocktails, serve some food, talk about it, get it back out into the community. All right, so thank you so much for watching. Yeah, we really appreciate it, and yeah, just walk a mile, I would say, or if you can't walk a mile, try and imagine walking a mile, and I think that will go a long way. All right, love you guys.